Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Vortex Racing Network's production of Monday Night Mayhem. The Moonlight Racing League has reached the pinnacle of playoff elimination races. That's right. We had the round of 12. We have the final race in the round of 8 to see who will battle next week at Kentucky. But things are not figured out today. Jordan Fisher, non-playoff driver, winning the last 2 weeks, has left all 4 spots on the table. Points battle underway. 3-2 wide in the boot here today. Mean Gene Money alongside Zach Panzarella getting to bring you this final elimination playoff race before the championship. I'll tell you what, Zach, this thing's tighter than a frog's butthole.
I'm back. Sorry about that,
man. If you put it underwater, you couldn't fit any more liquid into this.
Yeah, I think I honestly may have accidentally muted myself. I was laughing so hard. I know it's going to be a long day, isn't it? But it is unbelievably tight up there. Just look at what's on screen right now. It is so close between these top drivers. And really, I mean, don't forget, like you said, Jordan Fisher has been dominant in this round, but that does not change the fact that this league is win and in as long as you're in that round of 8. So it's not even over for Thornton and Geyer here today. So this is going to be a crazy one here today to see who gets the opportunity to race for the coveted MRL Monday Night Championship.
Jordan Fisher picked up his 6th win at Iowa. Tony Iverson so close to punching his ticket, but that second place finish, plenty of points. Colin Bollinger also watching it as it unfolded in front of him, finished off of the podium. Iverson, Bollinger battling all season to see who could be dominant here at the end. Now, big story, of course, has to be Matt Novella. Last week finished in 19th, and that dropped him 15th, and that dropped him to 13th behind the cut line. I feel like Novella, Thornton, Geyer all in a must-win situation. And then look at the battle between Applegate, Kyle, and Vulpes. Joe holding on to that position, but with the playoff points, he's very close to Kevin and Grant. Kevin, of course, field strategy, stage win last week, gave him those points. And here we are at Michigan getting ready to see what drivers are going to move forward. Now, fastest guys in practice so far, you might be wondering who was fastest in practice, and I'm going to give you a name, a special name. Zach, it's the captain.
Captain Crunch?
Captain Crunch up top. Who's behind him? The commissioner, John Beverly. Let's get a spicy final race.
Oh man, and qualifying is looking just as interesting. Only about 20 seconds left. A lot of things to mention here, me and Gina, as we get ready for this race. A big thing I think that we have to know, especially for those 3 drivers right near that cut line, is going to be the stage and the halfway point in this race. The top 5 will collect stage points in this race. There won't be a caution for them, but that is going to be huge. I think you might even want to adjust your strategy a little bit based on that. But qualifying is over, me and Gene, and a little someone is on the pole here today.
What? We're talking about first pole of the season, John Beverly, the commissioner. That number 1 is more than just a number on the side of the car. It's where he's going to start. John Beverly on the pole. Congratulations. Next to him, coming in right at the cut, Tony Iverson, putting it on the front row. Second row, Jordan Fisher, Colin Bollinger side by side. These 3 drivers, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, they have been a class of their own all the last part of this season. Joe Vulpes going to start in 5th. Matt Novella needing that win in 6th. And here's a guy that could win and throw it all out of whack. Sean Walton might take the free ticket and just put it in his pocket and put it on his shelf. Not eligible to make it to the next round, but 6-7, always fast. Grant Applegate, level win. He's below the cut line in 8th. Dylan Tibbetts, our Taco Bell Toyota, back in that number 44 starting 9. And Steve Lewis, the captain, finishes with a 10th place start. But with that speed, we know he can run in traffic.
Yeah, we do, Mean Gene. Definitely. I mean, like we're already seeing that qualifying speed practice speed did translate to qualifying, because the other guy that was just as fast, like you said, was John Bev, and he's on the pole here today. In 11th place will be Alex Hillman. Can he make it past lap 10? Nobody knows. We'll find out here today. In 12th will be Brandon Guerin. 13th, Zach Lawson. 14th will be Dalton Geyer. He's the first driver who not put down a qualifying lap. He's going to need a great run here today if he wants to race for a championship. Kevin Kyle, he'd be starting for the rear as well. Keep your eye on him all day. He is so close to making the championship 4. He is only 3 above the cut line. Jack Sanders will be in 16th, past champion over there. And rounding out the field, one of our best of the rest contenders, Hunter Hall, will be rounding out the 17-car field. So one of our smaller fields here, Mean Gene. Not as many points out here as we're used to, but that also means we have made it through all of qualifying, and there's only one thing left to do.
And now, race fans, for the most famous words in motorsports, the star of Universal Pictures movie, I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry, Kevin James.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops, God bless America, and gentlemen, start your engine!
Let's do this thing. I am excited, Mean Gene. So excited.
Yeah. Oh, you got to be pumped. There's nothing better than this elimination playoff racing here at Michigan. These boys love Michigan like a perfectly shaped woman loves cake.
There you go. Or like you love frogs.
Like I love frogs, but not their moisture level on the inside of their body. We're making our way around right now. So, of course, big stories to watch. Also, we didn't show you the standings, but best of the rest is on the table as well. That is a contest between Beverly, Steve Lewis, Hillman, Hunter Hall, all those drivers doing battle to get that coveted best of the rest championship. Those, of course, the drivers that didn't make the final 12. And you might be thinking, why do we care about that? Come out, find out yourself. We're green here at Michigan International Speedway. Beverly on the inside, Tony Iverson on the outside. Jordan Fisher looking to make it 3 wide. Oh, it's tight, it's tight, it's tight. The frog is squeaking, but Jordan Fisher with the speed side by side with Iverson down the backstretch. Beverly looking for some help. Finally, here comes Joe Volpus. Volpus looks high to go behind Bollinger. Beverly, no friends early, coming out of 4. Fisher, Iverson side by side. I feel like it's deja vu all over again with these 2 guys battling here today.
Fisher, not one known for patience and showing none right there, not even letting the pole sitter lead a lap. John Beverly gets eaten up, taking 3 wide through 1 and 2, and Fisher able to move to second, now behind, I guess you could say, his new protege and Tony Iverson. Something they've been working together lately, and you've seen the increase in speed for that 13 to Tony Iverson, leading here early in Michigan. And we heard last week in his interview, Mean Gene, that he was excited for this race, so not a huge surprise here. Behind them, look at Applegate mixing it up with Steve Lewis and Novella.
Needing a big finish here today to make it into the final 4. No better way to do that than with a win. It's in the mind of the 14 Chevrolet. Spoke with him before the race, and he's absolutely checker or wrecker here today. Says he'll go high, says he'll go low. Applegate going high. No surprise to us here in the booth, as I think he's one of the best rail riders on the track.
Yeah, he's a big fan of that Larson line. And speaking of, you just saw Bev try to use it, grazed the wall, didn't scrub off too much speed there. Good job keeping his momentum and blocking already going on down this backstretch here. Novella really not wanting to give up his line, and I think that draft really brutal right there. That's Tibbetts behind him. Good to see Dylan Tibbetts back in the field here today. Lap 4, this is going to be an Alex Hillman. Still no scratches on that 08, so our bank accounts are looking good right now.
Well, we got to get to 16, and we're only on lap 4. Let's see what Hillman can do.
Or a 4th of the way there.
My Bovada account. Meanwhile, Walton there running low. Applegate above him. Here comes the captain. What? This looks like a Blue Angels flight for
It does.
formation. Novella, Hillman behind them. Now, bear in mind, Lewis and Novella had a little bit of fun with each other last week at Iowa. We'll just have to see if they can put that behind them. Lewis, of course, battling for best of the rest championship. Novella's playoff life on the line as he needs to make the up 13 points. And to me, that spells needing a win here with only 17 drivers.
Yeah, when only 17 people show up, you virtually do need that win, right? I mean, you would have to finish 14 plus spots better than your competitors, and there's more than one of them for Novella, so I don't even think it's in the cards. I mean, Gene, mathematically, it might not be. He's going to have to bring that 56 to victory lane. So far, doing a good job working his way through the field. Currently working on the 67 or 6-7 of Sean Walton.
6-7.
Walton has been someone that has shown so much muscle as, wow, oh no!
Speaking of muscle, you don't play with 6-7. His blood pressure don't rise, and into the wall goes Novella. Off the pace, you can see Tibbetts. Look at Geyer going by as well. Novella now under attack from Kevin Kyle. Hopefully, Novella's going to be able to run at top speed. I'm looking at the meter. Issues.
Look at the damage.
Issues galore.
It's that passenger side left right there, or the front, I should say. I'm sorry. Matt Novella has damage, and I'm looking at the rim of the car as well, Mean Gene, and it just doesn't look right. I think he may have wheel damage.
That's not good for Matt. He needs to get a lucky break here, maybe get his crew to take a peek. Looks like he's maintaining speed now, though, behind Kyle and Tibbet, but all those guys are way behind the leaders. Meanwhile, Fisher peeking down low. They're side by side, Zach.
You saw Iverson try to block off that line, tried to cut the nose off the 39 of Fisher. Wasn't possible. Fisher had already gotten in a little bit too deep. This may be elementary here for Fisher. He has the position. He's been great on the bottom. Iverson has definitely preferred the bottom all season. So, yeah, there it is. Fisher going to run that yellow line. Slide up. Oh, boy. Oh, he gets in. Oh, my goodness. He gets into Fisher. Wow. Iverson slaps the wall. It didn't look like that was much less harder than Novella did. Hopefully that 13 is still healthy, but what it did do is it gave Fisher the lead, and it brought Bullinger right to him.
Yeah, you can see Colin now sneaking up, equal distance behind him. The commissioner in the General League 0-1, just as close to Colin as Colin is to Tony. Fisher, though, with that little 0.3 of a second lead going high. Iverson loves to run low. Better exit speed for Fisher, maintains that gap.
What a shot.
So equal distance between the top four, and then behind them, Volpus, slight gap back to Applegate, almost a second and a half. So spreading out here at Michigan with this smaller field, gonna cut the odds of a caution. But where does it pick up? It's right behind the 6-7 of Walton. Look how close. You can see Jack Sanders is there. Right below them, Brandon Guerin as well. And then here comes Dalton Geyer for his traditional late race maneuvers.
Like that move by Sanders on Sean Walton, kind of shoved him into the corner there, wanted him to go in too deep, and then that allowed Sanders to try to back it up and get a run out of the corner. Wasn't meant to be that time, and actually opened it up a little bit for Guerin now. Guerin going to try to look at grabbing that position. Alex Hillman has cleared them both. He is up to 8th position. He is 5 laps away from setting a new world record on laps ran in an MRL race for him. So that would be a big moment for the 08. And then right behind them, and these guys are mixing it up, are Sanders and Walton. And look at the power of the draft. Unless Hillman entirely missed turn 4 there, man, they were catching him with a hurry. And then you see Dalton Geyer, like you said, doing his own thing, really using that top lane.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing. This is where the battle is the tightest, right behind Alex Hillman. Draft is amazing. Oh, look out, Colin. Here they come.
Wow, Bollinger going to join the party here. Iverson going to follow them. And then big shout out to John Beverly, the pole sitter. Didn't get to lead a lap, but he is not going anywhere. He is still within a half a second in this lead pack, sitting in the top 5 in 4th place. Big shout out to John Beverly, having the best run of his season so far. But Colin Bollinger to the lead. He is currently in the best situation. He almost feels like things have to go terribly, terribly, terribly wrong. And that's before even we get to the stage on lap 50, Mean Gene. If he can make it to the stage and collect some points there, I think he can cash his check to the championship race. Bollinger pretty much there, one of the guys who has the least to worry about, and you kind of see that with his driving.
The 53, nicknamed Jabroni. He's got it written right there on the car. Finally in the lead. He got by both Fisher and Iverson with that move, so pass one, get one free. Amazing driving there by the 53. Jordan Fisher, though, not going anywhere. And why not? If you're Fisher, why battle that early in the race? Instead, take this opportunity to see what that driver in front of you is doing. What line does he like? What's his preferences? What are his tendencies? And all of that information is going to go into the data bank, and Jordan Fisher is going to make use of it later. We'll see Colin. Maybe he'll be like the pro football coach, only using 4 plays until late in the game.
I agree, Mean Gene. It's going to be interesting to see. We just saw Sean Walton catch up to Alex Hillman, but right when he went to make a pass, Hillman threw some dirty air at him, and Sean Walton fell back in a hurry, nearly getting passed by Sanders behind him. That's going to be something we have to keep our eye on all day here today. We've heard so much from these drivers about the dirty air and the effect of it and how much fun they have with it. So we are definitely gonna, and I mean, this being a huge track, I definitely think we could see more of it. See Volpus now behind Applegate. Applegate working through this field. He's currently sitting in 5th. His next target would be Bev, but John Beverly currently up there with the leaders still. And look at this, side by side, Jordan Fisher, Colin Bollinger.
Yeah, Fisher got by him. Bollinger did a crossover maneuver to get back into the lead, and I think we're going to see it again as we go back here onto this back stretch. Look at Fisher pulling even, gets a little draft, contact.
Oh, that was close.
And then
those
after
slide
that,
jobs.
yeah. And then he gets the draft, pulls up. Oh, denies entry. That's how you prevent it. That is not going to let 53 get the speed he needs to pull the crossover. Instead, it's going to slow him down. Iverson gets to the quarter. 53 trying to bury it, but side drafting, going to let Iverson get up underneath the 53. Let's see if he denies the entry.
That was interesting. I mean, yeah, you saw Fisher. He could tell that Bollinger wanted to squeeze him. He said, "You're not doing that." Held him to the top of the track until the very last second. Here comes Iverson sliding up the track, not able to complete the pass. Does not get into Bollinger. And watch this loss of momentum here. I mean, Gene, see that 13 just fading away from that 53. He's going to have to gather back up that momentum and try it again in a couple laps. Unless he just wants to send it into 3 and 4 like he just did. We'll see if he can keep momentum through this. He likely won't complete the pass here, but wow, what a corner by the 13 of Iverson.
Battling up front, looking amazing. Fisher now pulling away once again with the clean air in front of that number 39. We're on lap number 17. You are watching the elimination race in the round of 8. Monday Night Mayhem live on the Vortex Racing Network. All 4 positions still open as non-playoff driver Jordan Fisher winning the last 2 races in this round, leading here again today, making math the story for the officials once we come to the end. Also, want to give a shout out at this point in the race to our sponsor. Thank you so much, Chantilly Lace Photography, Brandon and Krista Guerin, bringing us support all year long, making this happen. Chantilly Lace Photography. It says weddings, and they can make your wedding experience amazing, but they do more than just that. Reach out to them for engagement photos, boudoir, actor, headshots, graduation, all your family experiences that you want to memorialize. Chantilly Lace Photography. Thank you so much for your sponsorship this year.
Massive thank you to Chantilly Lace, and I think Alex Hillman saying a massive thank you right now to the racing gods, because he's just set a career high on laps ran here in the MRL Monday Night Mayhem. What a great job by Hillman. We are here on lap 19, and that 08 looks as good as it did on lap 1, and now it's disappearing.
Looks like I owe you a Coke.
I'm going to stop talking. Yeah, you do. And look at this. Iverson has fallen off as of late. I'm thinking that he may have got caught in some dirty air trying to race Bollinger. But right there, ready to strike, is the 0-1 of John Beverly. What type of Michael Jordan secret sauce did John Beverly drink before this race? This is an unbelievable showing from the 0-1 and a great sign of things to come for next season. We've seen Bev, you know, here and there be in the top 10, be in the top 5 even. He's always had the speed. It's been a matter of it being sustainable. This is a great sign for Beverly.
Reveal all of the commissioner's secrets, but he did get a new rig this year. You know, it takes a few races to get her dialed in. John also works a ton of hours. So Beverly finally starting to reap the rewards of his new gear, and it's on display here as in fourth on the tail of Tony Iverson. If Tony Iverson hiccups, he is going to meet with the general. Speaking of, if you hiccup, look at the 14, Grant Applegate, finding speed here late in the run, 38.81. Applegate, fastest car on the track, last 2 laps. Here he is putting a move on the commish.
Yeah, Applegate, the only car on the track, actually, in the 38s even, Mean Gene, and he is 2 tenths or hundredths, I should say, below the 39s, and he is comfortably putting down the fastest laps on the track. Makes that pass right there on Bev. John Beverly going to fall down to 5th place. Still having a great run here is the commissioner. But man, oh man, Grant Applegate, I don't think he could choose a better time than next week if he can make it to that championship race to win a race. He has been up there. He has had poles. He has led so many laps, and he's definitely had the speed. Can today at Michigan be the day that he wins his first race while cashing his check to the championship? He's going to make the look to the inside of Tony Iverson right here. Tony Iverson falling off hard, Mean Gene.
I think it's really a story of drivers that have saved their stuff and able to move forward. Grant Applegate with the pass on Beverly. Now Iverson into third, showing late run speed. Another guy doing it. How about Sean Walton?
Yeah.
I was worried about him falling back into the grasp of Hillman, Sanders, and company.
Nope.
But instead, he's past Vulpes, still moving forward. Last lap, 3.921. 4th fastest car on the track.
And you see these guys starting to get loose / tight. I think tight up to the wall and then loose on the very end of the exit there. Jack Sanders almost went for a ride right there. Great recovery from him. And I doubt the dirty air in front of him that's pretty much occupying just about every lane available on this track is helping him at all, as this will be lap 24 we're coming to right here. Any idea how long these guys can go on fuel, Mean Gene? My guess is somewhere in the low 30s.
Yeah, I would imagine as well. I'm not sure. Doesn't look like anybody's saving at this point.
No.
But I never want to make that assumption when you got that number 29 out there after what he did last week.
Bollinger takes the lead from Fisher, and Applegate's right there. That tells me that Fisher must have made a mistake to have created that situation. I'm assuming he probably just lost his momentum coming out of one of these corners, had to check up on exit, and that's all it took. Because like you saw right there, Mean Gene, Bollinger had him cleared before entry of the corner.
Well, let's see what the lap time says. It'll tell us right here. 39.61. Yeah, about 0.3 of a second off of what Bollinger did. That let Colin sneak on by there in 3 and 4. Fisher dialed back in. These two dicing back and forth. Had Iverson with them, but now it's the 14 of Applegate trying to close that gap and get himself into this battle. Tony Iverson not far behind. John Beverly still in the top 5. And then we pay attention a little bit back, 2 seconds behind the early fast runners. Then we see that group of Walton, Hillman, Sanders, Vulpes, and here comes Dalton Geyer side by side with the 11.
Vulpes is falling off unbelievably bad, which means, you know what that means, Jim. We got it right on board.
Do you think he's doing something trick? Well, he's
racing
crossovered.
Dalton. Yeah. Let's see. You'd think you'd want the draft if you were concerned about fuel. And he's clutching. Wow. I mean, I'm not one to know what I'm talking about when it comes to this stuff, because I don't really ever do that type of strategy, especially not this early. I let the race come to me until I go to that. But Vulpes, as we know, probably the best in all of MRL at this type of strategy. But I got to say, Mean Gene, this is not the race I'd be doing that in.
This is probably going to go green most of the way with so few drivers.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do some tricky stuff, why not do it early if you feel that confident? Stage is on the table, though, for Joe Vulpes. Those points would be great. If we're going to be doing gas strategy, I think another driver we might take a little peek at might be the 29 of Kevin Kyle. Yeah, that dude, after last week, when you say gas strategy, I'm going to see that mustache.
I completely agree. I'm just going to leave these points up here on the side of our screen so we have those for us and so the fans at home can see them. So there it is. Vulpes is +4, Mean Gene. And I mean, really what I'm getting flashbacks to right now is the BRL finale where Vulpes went for a similar strategy in an all-green race. And there goes Fisher to the inside of Bollinger for the lead. So we'll come back to that thought in just a second as the inside going to be squeezed off by Bollinger. Good job there. Nice run by Fisher, but not much you can do with that. It's going to open it up a little bit for Grant Applegate. And Fisher sends him into the wall.
That was close. I didn't see any contact. I'm on that chopper cam. But definitely Applegate responding to Fisher, getting the wider arc into that turn. Applegate just came up through, and then Fisher going to tap the wall there as well. So here comes Applegate giving Fisher the tap.
Yeah, not appreciating that. Uncharacteristic.
Just giving him momentum.
Of Fisher to even see him fall off this way. Fisher, one of the better long-run drivers in this league, really one of the best we've ever seen, but he is not on the level of Grant Applegate right here. But look at this, Mean Gene. Grant Applegate is not interested in the bottom, or else he would have taken it by now.
And second place doesn't get Applegate anything. And there he is riding the rail. Then he's going to do that nice arc, great speed. Look at what he's doing. He's not getting dirty air with the position of those cars.
And
That's draft.
He's also prioritizing the run on the exit of the corner over the entry. He's not trying to get side by side with Fisher through the corner. He'd rather get a big run down the back or front stretch and make the pass going into it. And let's see if he can make it happen here. He's going to have a really nice run out of this corner.
He's at the corner. He's at his door.
And he has the run, and he's going to complete the pass exactly how I thought he would. Grant Applegate, whoa, going to barely shut the door and move to second place.
And there comes a little dirty air for Fisher. Not a problem for the veteran driver. Applegate free to make his entry. Only goes midway that time. Didn't quite get the run I thought he would, but he is pushing forward. Now, if Applegate can get the push from Jordan, that might allow him to get closer to Colin. Colin riding the same line that Jordan was, so wouldn't be surprised to see
Fisher.
the same result.
Fisher and Iverson going to pit together here. Iverson got to slow it down. I think that looked like a pretty clean pit stop, a pretty high speed limit here. It looks like Dalton Geyer is going to bring it into the pits as well. So 3 of our drivers, and 2 of them being playoff drivers, going to bring it in right now. As you see, Iverson +14, Geyer -35. He is virtually racing for a win here. But those are all they're going to bring it down. And back to Kevin, Kyle, and Vulpes, who are now running virtually with one another, maybe helping each other with the draft on that strategy. The only reason I would see why you do this, Mean Gene, is the plan is to somehow drag that car to lap 50. So we'll see if that's possible or not.
Gonna see. Here we go. Bollinger and Applegate coming in. Look at that. Colin leaving space right there. Good move by both drivers.
Let's
Hopefully
go back,
neither
actually.
sped.
Something happened here, Mean Gene, because Applegate took the lead momentarily. Let's watch this. This was the entry for the pits. Applegate going to look to the outside. He's actually going to try to make the pass on the entry of the pits. And then Bollinger comes and just shuts it down and says, absolutely not. That was close.
But he left room, not a problem. The cars are not making contact. And now we just keep an eye as they are all taking those 4 tires. You might be wondering about Fisher, Iverson, Geyer, Lewis, Guerin. All of them pitted. All of them did take the 4 tires. Cars on pit road now rolling once again. Applegate, Fisher, Iverson,
There's
Beverly.
Fisher.
None of them with a penalty. All of them looking good. And here's somebody that got tricky. Dalton Geyer, 12.85 second pit stop. What's that mean to you, Zach?
That likely was 2 tires for Dalton Geyer right there to take off 3 seconds off his pit stop, get some track position. So far, so good. He's up to 6th player when the cycle's through what should be 6th place. He's right there behind John Beverly. John Beverly did take 4 tires. And what we also learned from that pit stop there, me and Gene, is the power of the undercut. Jordan Fisher pitting a lap before Bollinger, and as well, Iverson pitting with Fisher as well. And both of them going to come out in front of Applegate and Bollinger.
Here we go. Speaking of strategy,
here we go.
Undercutting might work. How about an overcut? Here comes Vulpes and Tibbetts on lap 34, which means they only need one more pit stop if we keep going green. Other drivers to use that, I'm looking at it. It would appear Kevin Kyle on 33. He'll just need to save a little bit earlier. And Zach Clausen still in the pit. Don't know when he went, but he's been there for 1 minute and 20 seconds. That's that 43 in his front end. Oh, my word. It looks like my credit score. Holy smokes.
It's been nearly 2 minutes, Mean Gene. As look at this. Iverson, look at the inside of Fisher. Fisher loose on exit, gathers it up, keeps his momentum, keeps the lead. But oh boy, Iverson wants that lead. He wants it now, and he needs it. He needs to win this, or he doesn't need to win this race, but you know he'd love to, and especially go into that championship race with a ton of momentum. Grant Applegate, he is definitely on those lines of keeping it simple and wanting to win this race. And yeah, I think you're right. I think there's a chance that if this race was to stay green, that Vulpes and potentially Kevin Kyle could have just cut off a pit stop. Vulpes definitely did. He's going to have to do that again, Mean Gene, so it just becomes a matter of how much time you lose on track. There's Vulpes now sitting in 13th place. Oh boy, looks like, what is that? 15 seconds behind our leader, so nearly half a lap. It's Applegate and Iverson begin to mix it up.
Alan Tibbett right behind Joe Vulpes did exactly the same thing Tibbetts did, but he is 4 seconds behind Vulpes. So that would be the guy that he's racing if the strategy can come to fruition. Clausen still in the pit, that 43, probably done for the day. We'll have to find out. Dalton Geyer, the only driver making a strategy move, moved up into 6th, finds himself 5 seconds behind the leader last lap. He was 3/100ths of a second slower than the leader. So right now that tire strategy working for that number 36.
Iverson going up the track up to Applegate. Applegate going to wrap the top like he's been doing all day. Battle for second place right here as Bollinger looks on, waiting for his moment. Looks like Applegate is going to complete this pass. I mean, it's early to say it, Mean Gene, but I think the 14 may have the fastest car on the racetrack today. The only one that I think may have something for him in terms of the long and short run put together is Jordan Fisher, but we'll have to see how this thing progresses and what these drivers can learn. We have seen all season they are all so good at adapting as the race goes on.
Yeah, and the pit time also playing a big factor there. Fastest person in the pits, we saw the 14.5 by Dylan Tibbetts. Slowest, 16.57. That was Colin Bollinger, who now finds himself back in 4th. Only 0.8 of a second off the lead, but with that pit time of almost 2 seconds, Colin would have been in the lead.
Yeah, that must have been even more than the undercut. What affected Bollinger so negatively and lost him that track position to all the 3 drivers in front of him now. He has the time to recover. He also pit the latest amongst this group besides Applegate, so he'll have a slightly fresher tires underneath him, and he showed in that last run what he can do on the long run. So right now I think his priority, and it looks like it is, should be to keep those tires underneath him and have something for him as these two are battling real hard for the lead. Grant Applegate not wanting to wait. I think he proved to himself in that last run, Mean Gene. There's no reason to. He had to work through the field, and he still had something for these guys when he got up front.
Applegate and Fisher, both rookies this season in Monday Night Mayhem, but not rookies in iRacing, and definitely not rookies to each other. These drivers are familiar with each other, and so this style here, this isn't just their 16th race on the track together. These guys have tons of experience running nose to tail, side by side. And here on Michigan, Applegate might be feeling like this could be his day, not just to beat Jordan Fisher, but also to get that Willy Wonka golden ticket to the chocolate factory, which will be partying at Kentucky next week.
Yeah, and there he goes, working that super high line, the line I like to call the Larson line. And fun fact, Mean Gene, where did Kyle Larson get 2 out of 3 of his first wins?
I'm not going to take your punchline. Where?
Michigan, and the other one was the Auto Club, running that line.
Pierre, Michigan. Is it Pierre, Michigan?
Sure. This is pure right here. This is pure racing
That's
between
what they
these
say.
guys. Yep.
But it says on the license plate, too.
Oh, there you go. But yeah, look at this right here. And also, one thing that has to be noted, Beverly still having a wonderful day over in 5th place, but he is 6 seconds behind this group. And that is far more about Fisher, Applegate, Iverson, and Bollinger than it is about anyone else in this field right here. These 4 have been the cream of the crop all day here, or I'm sorry, all season. And I don't know how it took me so long, and I'm sure you pointed it out, Mean Gene. Eric Thornton's not here.
No, very unfortunate. Thornton did need a win today to get in. Outside obligations clearly weighing down the driver of the one. So no Eric Thornton here today. Will be eligible, of course, to run at Kentucky next week, but his championship run will end here in the round of 8. Good season, though, for the high side hustler driver, as we saw him constantly up in the top 3. Great battling here. Look how close on 2 tires we've seen Geyer get to Beverly, and up front this is turning a little spicy as Iverson has made his way up to the door of Applegate.
A little surprising here to see Applegate falling off as he goes for the crossover on Iverson out of 4. Bollinger once again being stuck, being the one holding popcorn and waiting for his moment. Looks like it feels like it's right now. Going to look to the inside of Iverson as Iverson's going to follow Applegate through that top line. Everyone going to try to find clean air the best they can. And we have a 3-wide situation between 3 championship contenders.
Amazing. Iverson going to fall into line quickly. Those 2 now getting draft benefits. Here comes Colin afterwards. I'll tell you, if you're at 14, you have to be glad of your experience running that top line, especially when the guys on the bottom decide to take you 3 wide. You're already used to that. You know where your let-off point is. You know when you can hit it. You know how the car responds. It's just something to see him getting up there this high, this early into the run, pitting on lap 32. He's already up there with only 12 laps on these tires.
And then Dalton Geyer has made those 2 tires work all the way to the top 5. He has completed the pass on Beverly. Woo! Yeah, pretty incredible run here from Geyer, as now it looks like Hillman, one of his DDI teammates, going to try to complete the pass on Beverly as well. Side by side go the 08 and the 01 here through the backstretch as Geyer's going to try to check out on this group. Sean Walton not having anywhere near as good of a run as he did on that first run, but if there's anything we know about Walton, it sometimes just takes a little bit of time for it to come back around to him and for that long run speed to kick in. As right now, Hillman not able to find a way around Beverly, but all types of favors being done for Dalton Geyer, who needs this. He needs to get about 4 spots better, but this is a great start for Dalton Geyer.
Yeah, this little group of 5 putting on a great show for us. About as good also as what you're seeing up front. Of course, Fisher leading this race. Whoa. Has a nice gap. But then behind them, you can see the other action. And here it is, Beverly now trying to find a little bit of speed underneath the bumper of Alex Hillman. Maybe Beverly has, maybe the commish. Maybe Kamish has the over-under at lap 47.
Maybe he does. I mean, Hillman just absolutely threw a nasty slide job on Bev on the exit of 2 there, and I don't think Beverly appreciated it too much. Give him a nice little butt push all the way down the backstretch, and I don't think he cared if he sent him too deep in that corner. Sean Walton was not able to take advantage of it, hitting the wall through 3 and 4. As here we go, we're going to try this again, and really the strength is those cars right there. Like Hillman, as he tries to run the bottom, not able to get the exit, gets rear-ended by John Beverly. Evading the scene entirely is Sean Walton. Alex Hillman really checking up the whole group there.
Wow, and Beverly falls to the back of those 5 cars. Sanders came in there like a cannonball, but winner of that definitely has to be Dalton Geyer, slowly pulling away, and then you can see Hillman still with him. Geyer would love to get up a little bit closer. Iverson well ahead of that group.
There's that
Oh,
damage.
here's Applegate making a move.
Oh, here we go. Grant Applegate looking in the inside of Bollinger. Both of these cars have gotten past Tony Iverson. Iverson falling off again late in this run, and they are racing each other while catching Jordan Fisher side by side. Go Bollinger and Applegate. These guys are not leaving each other very much space, and they are going to catch Jordan Fisher. This is about to be good.
Yeah, what happened? Tony tried to give the slide job to the 14 of Applegate 5 laps ago, and it wasn't clear. Look at Applegate deny the 53, the entrance. That's going to put Colin behind the 8 ball. He fades back just a little into the grasp of Iverson. Iverson falling into line. Top 4 cars putting on a show. Next 5 cars putting on a show. Welcome to Michigan, baby.
I know. I wish we had a split screen right now, me and Gene, but both sets of cars putting on an absolute show as these guys nearly going 3 wide for second place, and they are reeling in the leader. Then you look behind them, and absolute calamity between Geyer, Hillman, Walton, Sanders, and John Beverly. And all of these guys having great days, leaving each other room, not wanting to ruin a good day or in a super important race. As just look at how close Applegate enters turn 1 on the wall, nearly touching it. Can't fit a piece of paper in between that. And that's how he's getting these massive runs out of these corners.
Now, you might be wondering about our tricksters. Ooh, looky. Here we go. Let's go.
Slide job. Oh, and the yellow's out. And I think Applegate captured the lead as the yellow came out. And a bad day becomes worse for one of our playoff contenders.
Matt Novella facing the wrong way. What happened?
Here we go. Replay right now on screen.
He's stopping
racing
it.
Guerin.
He's parking it.
And Matt Novella will not race for a championship as, oh no. Massive hit. Oh yeah, that's a day ender for Novella. Absolutely no clue what happened between Novella and Sanders there.
Well, I'm gonna have to go to the
Way ahead of you, my friend.
Can't lie to the chase cam.
Here we go. Novella up the track. I mean, maybe assuming Guerin was gonna go higher up, but that's a unfair assumption to make. And you know what assuming does mean, Gina? It makes everybody in the situation look silly.
Yeah, that is really unfortunate. Was there space above Brandon? Absolutely. Is he under any obligation to do that? Nope. Absolutely not.
Exactly.
And so, especially if they're not communicating, it's hard to say what you're doing at 202 miles an hour. And I think that's what we saw. So how does this change the race? You might be wondering at the house. All those tricksters, their strategy out the window. That's Kevin Kyle. That's Joe.
But
Volpus. That's Dylan Tibbetts.
I'm sorry. That was the stage.
Oh.
Grant Applegate just won himself the stage.
So poor Novella.
Yeah, Novella, right before the stage, loses any points available to him. But what that does mean, Gene, I think more important than anything else, if the race ended right now, Grant Applegate would be in the playoffs. Or would be in the final championship race, not Kevin Kyle.
Yeah.
Not even Volpus. Volpus didn't get a point there. I believe you get 5 points for winning that stage. That would be enough to shoot Applegate all the way to third in front of Volpus and Kyle. This now makes this a 1-point race between Volpus and Kyle, and 1 point above that is Grant Applegate.
Big stage win there for the 14. Has to be thrilled. Meanwhile, tears in the pit of the 56 Chevrolet of Novella. Novella out. Don't see him disconnect yet. There it is. Matt Novella has parked it. That will end the championship run of the 56 of Matt Novella. Eric Thornton not here today. No championship for the number 1. Meanwhile, Dalton Geyer still alive, needing that win if he wants to advance. Ahead of him, all bets are off. Applegate jumps above the line with that win in the stage, and then Volpus and Kyle separated by only 1 point. I mean, hell, you might as well say Applegate and Volpus only separated by 1 point.
It's 1 point between all 3 of them.
1-1-1.
1-1-1, and it makes things real simple because Novella's not making it, Thornton's not here, and Geyer needs the win. So things are really straightforward for us. We don't have to use any of our map skills. And what that effectively also does mean, Gene, is that will lock in Colin Bollinger into the championship race. Colin Bollinger will have an opportunity to defend his championship.
Now, the other thing I wonder is laps led.
Right.
Because a point will go to Applegate for leading a lap. I don't think Vulpes and Kyle have led a lap.
They have not. Vulpes may have, because he did stick out, and so did Kyle. There's a chance, Mean Gene.
Oh, wait, because they ran longer than anybody else.
Why are our cameramen living in the freaking walls? Morons. We're firing some people after this thing.
Oh, snap. We can't do that. We need to hire more people. Are you kidding me?
That's true. VRN is hiring, guys. If you like to not live in walls, hit us up. Lights up the pace car.
We might have some exciting truck and Xfinity opportunities for people here in the immediate future.
Oh, yes, we will. We got some big announcements that hopefully we are good to make next week, since next week will be our last Premier Cup Series broadcast, and then this will move from a doubleheader to a single header for 2 weeks.
Yep, because of the holidays. We're doing in playoffs. They're doing holidays. It's all right.
True
Everybody wins. So up front, guess who get to lead a lap in their quest for Best of the Rest championship? That's your boy, 26 Hunter Hall. Now, he last pitted on 32, so he might not be as quick as the other boys. Away we go, Hunter Hall. Great jump. Applegate, Bollinger directly behind him. Iverson gonna peek it in the middle. He's side by side with Bollinger. Applegate on the outside using the speed. Hunter Hall slows the progress of the 53. Tony almost chops the... Oh, no, look at Hall trying to block the 53. Then he's going to get split again by Fisher. 3 wide, Bollinger, Hall, Fisher. Hall going the wrong way. Here comes 6-7. Don't get too close. You might pay the price. Finally, the 67 below. And now Bollinger with the big block on Fisher. They're dicing and slicing. Nobody's wearing a protective steel glove.
From the lead down to the last car of the lead lap, there is insanity everywhere. We got a new leader. It's Tony Iverson as, oh my goodness, Alex Simmons chops the nose off of Sean Walton right there. Absolute craziness right there. And look how much that kills his momentum. Is now Kevin Kyle going to come, maybe make a move here on Sean Walton. Like we said, the two biggest guys whose strategy was just out the window there was Vulpes and Kyle. They got to make something happen here on this second run of this race, Mean Gene, and they got to start now. But up front, we have a new leader, Tony Iverson, with a brilliant restart to get up to the lead.
Yeah, Tony Iverson now using that outside lane that Applegate made so popular. Gives Applegate a little dirty air, dives it down low. Applegate from the top slowly fades down to the middle through the apex, powering through. You can run this thing wide open, but your tires not going to appreciate it. So the goal, especially early in the run, should be as little input on that wheel as humanly possible. And I think that's what we're seeing out of Applegate. Cannot believe how fast he was at the end of those 2 runs, Zach.
Yeah, I really can't either. And I think Applegate also just trying to show a tiny bit of restraint right now to not ruin that for himself. But he is all over Iverson, pushing him down the front stretch there. There was a lot of contact made between the 2 cars. I mean, nothing too malicious there as Applegate just throwing Iverson into the corner, hoping to get him out uncomfortable. But Iverson able to do something with it. Oh, man, is to see Hunter Hall rush has stayed in the wall right there. He has moved all the way to the back of this pack after staying out. And if you were wondering how much tires matter at a 2-mile racetrack, there's your answer.
He led a lap and he's happy with it. Another guy happy to get those left sides had to be Dalton Gaia. Remember, on the first stop, he only took rights, held on to 6th. Now with the 4, finds himself back into 10th position, needs to move up. Other guys needing to move up. How about Joe Vulpes, that number 11, battling with Kevin Kyle? Both those guys basically racing each other. Beat that guy and you're going to the finals.
Yeah, it's a huge pass for both of them. They need to be focused on one another right now, as Applegate is definitely in position right now, even in second place, to easily move on to the championship race. And what a story that would be for the 14 of Grant Applegate. But Joseph Volpes has just been on fire lately, no matter where he races or in what race car. He's been able to find victory lane. Today has not been that story, and a lot of it has been strategy, but now he has the ability to go all out. He is on the same strategy as everybody else. He needs to start showing some speed. Speaking of, look at Jack Sanders with a beautiful run around the top right there to try to take a look at Kevin Kyle, another driver who cannot be giving up positions right now.
Oh, look at the leaders still side by side. They cannot figure this thing out. Applegate and Tony Iverson have been side by side for about 2 laps now. Jordan Fisher saving tires, has to love what he's seeing in front of him, knowing that this will benefit him later in the run. 53 of Colin Bollinger behind them saying, you know what, monkey see, monkey do. And this jabroni's all over you as he is trying to keep it tight there. Top 4 guys making it spicy here on a Monday night on VRN.
Wow, close side drafting there between Applegate and Iverson. And yeah, this is the type of race that we oftentimes see Colin Bollinger win. The ones where he hangs out around this type of place, learns a ton, and then strikes when it's most opportune and normally late in the race. Big slide job there by Grant Applegate to get in front of Tony Iverson, try to kill his momentum. He's not going to dive to the bottom of the racetrack because that's where he knows Iverson wants to be. Probably going to see Applegate try to make that top line work here and not give Iverson the exit he wants. That's exactly what he's going to do. Iverson going to try to stay as close to him on the top as he can to try to match his momentum, but I don't think there's much for that 13. He's going to send it in deep, but he's not clear. It's going to be close. Applegate barely touches the wall. Man, these guys are putting a show.
That's enough to allow Iverson to get the nose ahead. Iverson doesn't bother trying to deny Applegate the entry, knowing he'll ride high. Fisher now says, ooh, the bottom works. Let me give it a try. He's at the door. He's at the corner. He can't make the pass. Applegate getting the benefit of the draft from Iverson. And there's Fisher falling in to try to strike again in this turn.
And then on the top of your screen on that last shot, there he is in the bottom now, kind of sneaking in Jaws style, is Alex Hillman. Alex Hillman, this is what happens when he's able to survive an entire race. He has so much speed in that 08 race car. He is in the top 5 right now, and he has been closing in on these guys. I'm sure it has something to do with how hard they're racing each other, but it's no easy task to keep up with these 4 drivers. So let's see what that 08 of Hillman can do as he catches them, as you see Applegate trying to get those tires cooled off and take another try at Tony Iverson. And look at Fisher and Bollinger.
Yeah, I think Fisher tried to get by Applegate. They almost touched. That slowed Fisher down enough to create this situation, also allowing Hillman to pull even with them. And now they are in that position of watching Iverson slowly drift away. Iverson and Applegate 1/10 of a second faster than Bollinger and Fisher. Fisher, veteran driver, knows this. Wouldn't be surprised to watch him push Colin for a couple of laps just to get a little closer.
Me either. It's going to be really interesting to see what the priorities of these drivers are. Another thing that I'm curious about, me and Gene, is to see Applegate potentially peak to the bottom of Iverson again, or if he just wants to make him nervous. But when do you want to pit? We know these guys can go for about 30, so your window is going to be lap 70 to where you can make it for the rest of the race. But then it becomes a matter of, do you prioritize the undercut or the overcut? When do you want to pit? That's going to be, I think, what makes or breaks this race for these drivers if we are to stay green.
Well, I mean, let's think about what we've seen so far. If you're any of those top 4 drivers, I think you believe I can win this race on skill.
Mm-hmm.
I can win this race on skill and speed. So whoever pits, I think all the others will just pit the very next time.
I agree. I think this is one of those races where you're like, I'm not doing anything cute. I have the speed to win this thing straight up, so don't put myself in a situation that could potentially ruin it for me.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason that Colin has got past Jordan, the only reason, let me rephrase that. The skill of all 4 of these guys cannot be questioned. And what they're showing us here today is winning speed and ability. But Fisher tapped the wall or had to slow whenever he got close to Applegate, or there would have been contact. And that allowed that little switcheroo. Last gas run, we saw the same thing happen to Iverson. Iverson tried to get past Applegate. Applegate made it to the quarter, and that made Iverson let off, and it pushed Iverson back into 4th. So tiny micro adjustments could be the difference between a win and a fourth place. The difference between sitting below that cut line and maybe a visit to Victory Lane in Kentucky next week.
I completely agree, Mangine. It's going to be really fascinating to see what these drivers choose to do as we get to the latter half of this race. On screen right now, we have Sean Walton, Kevin Kyle, and Jack Sanders. This is the battle for 6th place, and this is a big one for the 29 of Kevin Kyle. If he can maintain where he is on track right now, he will take that last position, and he will race for a championship. But just 2 cars behind him is Joseph Fulpus in that Lowe's car. He is right behind Dalton Geyer, another playoff car, but that 9th place for Geyer will not even be close to what he needs to do to move on to race for a championship. So right now, Kevin Kyle has his destiny in his hands. He's doing what he needs to do, but he's also racing against someone that he's had a few issues with this season.
Now, talking about fuel strategy, pit strategy, the 36, I think, is a guy all year long. He's shown us, I will do things different. I march to the beat of my own drum.
Oh, my
goodness. So if I was going to look at somebody to do something tricky, that's who it would be. It would be the 36. I don't know if it'll be a short pit. I don't know if it'll be a long one, hoping for a caution. But I think this 36 is somebody that could set the bar for doing something odd. And if circumstances came to be, that is the only thing I see overcoming the ability of those top 4 drivers.
I agree, and that's what Geyer's going to have to get creative. He's going to have to get as cute as a golden retriever to figure out how to get in front of those guys and then stay in front of them for the remainder of this race. About 32 to go right now, and Sean Walton and Kevin Kyle are mixing it up. They are just absolutely trading off crossovers right here. Up front, it looks like Applegate and Iverson are going to take one more battle at it. And interestingly, look who has fallen off the pace considerably for him, I would say, Mean Gene.
Yeah, Jordan Fisher fading back a little bit. Wonder if there might have been a tad of contact when he came up the wall, almost into Grant Applegate, slowed, made contact with Colin just a little bit. Colin got into the rear of the 39 of Fisher while Fisher was touching the wall with that right front. Oh, maybe not. He's coming into the pit. That was a hot one.
Fisher so good at getting in and out of the pits. We saw it in the last one, or in the last cycle under green flag conditions. Fisher going to be the first to bite, Mean Gene. This is within the cycle, or within the window, very much within the window. We are in it right now. Let's see if your prediction is correct. I would venture to guess that it is. I would guess that Iverson, Applegate, and Bollinger will be coming in very shortly, but we'll have to see. It looks like Iverson's going to go to the bottom of the racetrack here. We'll see, and he's off the pace a tiny bit, so I'm thinking this might be it. It's not. Iverson going to run another lap under green flag conditions here. I mean, every lap you run is another opportunity for a caution, which is another opportunity to ruin the race of Jordan Fisher. So that could be in the back of their minds right now as Fisher exiting the pits, going to go a lap down temporarily.
Brave souls are these 3 men, as they are going to let Fisher short pit them, run faster, and then possibly have dirty air as a weapon. And when they do catch up, the advantage that those 3 do have, though, is they're running with each other, and that's going to let them get just a little bit more speed on those straightaways.
Here comes Bollinger. Bollinger going to bring it down this time. Not Iverson and not Applegate, but here comes Colin Bollinger, who did have the worst pit entry on the last time in. He was pretty conservative there, looked like a tiny bit faster. And I agree with you, Mean Gene. And I think another thing working in the favor of guys like Iverson and Applegate is they're only 7/10 off someone like Fisher is right now. So you'd think worse at a track like this, right? You definitely think worse. So it's not bleeding horribly, but you got to be careful. You don't want to play with fire here.
38.97 was the speed of Iverson. 9.5 is where Applegate was that last time around. We're waiting to see the telemetry of Fisher's first hot lap. He's bringing it out of 4. He is on the front stretch. Survey says 38.66. So
he found some speed.
With that short pit, he is actually going to be almost a half a second faster. So those boys have to respond sooner rather than later. Colin picked up that gauntlet quickly.
Look at Colin and
Iverson
Fisher.
And Applegate.
Look at the difference between Colin and Fisher. Enormous.
Oh, Bollinger with the 2-tire pit stop.
That's it? Okay, Cullen does take 2. Oh boy, I hope these guys have someone watching the broadcast. He took 2. That is crazy. Side by side of the leaders now. I wonder if they know. I mean, I think one thing that could clue them in a little bit is where the hell is Jordan Fisher? There's Bollinger. Where's Fisher? Wow, Mean Gene. This thing's wide open. We have 26 to go. I mean, oh boy, you'd think you would have pit by now. Bollinger's not even a lap down anymore. Got to be careful here. This is officially playing fire.
I got you, and it might pay off. Meanwhile, Sean Walton
Here
also pitting and
Iverson.
taking 2. Here comes Iverson. Applegate running this thing long. Maybe he's hoping for that caution that would propel him up forward. Other drivers now coming down for that third pit stop. Brandon Guerin looks like he's taking 2 as well. Sean Walton took 2. Bollinger took 2. Everybody else wanted 4.
Huge moment
waiting
here.
to see the top 8 cars come into the pit.
Iverson pulls into his stall. Here we go. How many sides of the car will go up? Left sides are up. That's normally what you see in a 2-tire. Obviously, let's see if the other side goes up. It doesn't. 2-tire pit stop for Tony Iverson. Here comes Bollinger around the racetrack.
Bollinger coming around. Iverson matching the short pit of Colin paying off versus Iverson. Both cars will be on the same strategy, but Iverson will have 3-lap fresher right sides once he rejoins. Meanwhile, Grant Applegate says, hey, Tony,
Walton
Go a
gets
lap down.
Iverson.
No.
Sean Walton undercuts Tony Iverson.
Did he touch him?
No, just I guess I got a little bit too excited, but no, he passed him. He's looking to make the pass now to regain that position. Iverson's got to make this quick. He does not have time to wait. Applegate, the leader, is still in front of him. Look at the speed difference right here as the fresh tire, only 2 tires, I should say, go around Applegate, and Iverson going to try to power it around the outside, potentially exit 3 wide, gets loose, nearly into Applegate. Sketchy moment for Iverson, one that he could not afford.
And the 6-7 giving that dirty air to Iverson, not once but twice. We've seen Walton keep Iverson back. Not going to help. Remember, Fisher took 4. Colin took 2. Tony took 2. But the teammate of Colin Bollinger giving it all. Get some to Tony Iverson, who's suffering. That cannot help. And now here comes Iverson again. Both 6, 7, and 13 took 2 tires. 13, though, looking for a championship 4 run.
Look at that. Walton pulls all the way to the bottom of the backstretch. Not going to help Iverson in any way. Not even going to give him any draft. But what that does do is it messes up your entry a little bit.
Pinch. Look at the pinch.
Yeah, this is going to be tight on exit between these two. Side by side. So impressive is Tony Iverson at carrying that momentum on the bottom. Really, no one else.
Well, he is going to deny. He's going to deny this. Look at this.
Oh yeah, he is. He's going to shoot him all the way up the track. He's like, yeah, you're staying up there, buddy. And then you're going to probably see Iverson shoot up the track here and try to take away all that air.
Eat this air. Eat this.
Oh, and Iverson gets loose. Iverson's ultra loose, and he's around.
No.
And the caution is out early, and luckily for Tony Iverson, that was a stroke of good luck that caution was called when it was, because that was off the racing surface, and that could have taken him out of the championship. Mean Gene, boy, oh boy, what a moment.
Let's make it spicy. Lap down drivers: Fisher, Hillman, Guerin, Iverson.
Wow.
Fisher would be the lucky dog. So let's see how it all
Insanity,
unfolds.
Mean Gene. Absolute insanity.
Look at Applegate. He's passing everybody. He goes by the pace car, too. Why not? Wow. Oh, wow. Ladies and gentlemen, this thing is insane. Tony Iverson getting into a race with Sean Walton ends up losing control, bringing out the caution here on lap 80. I imagine anybody with a set of tires probably going to come down. Bear in mind, top 6 drivers must pit. That will leave Colin and Sean Walton out. They pit on 71. They've got the fuel to make it to the end. They could keep every driver a lap down, except, of course, of Fisher, who would be the lucky dog. Let's see what happens as the pace car rolling around, keeping an eye. Top 6 definitely going to come into the pit. The question is, what does Colin and what does Sean Walton do to affect the rest of this field? Let's take this opportunity to give a shout out to our primary sponsor, of course, Chantilly Lace Photography. 3 locations on the East Coast. In South Carolina, you can find them in Myrtle Beach, and you can find them in Charleston. In Georgia, let's go visit Savannah. Those 3 locations, these people can help you plan any family event, photography, as well as video and still. They can design the album, design the set piece for you. Chantilly Lace Photography, over 30 years, over 30 employees, and 20 years of experience. Back on the track, exactly what we thought would happen did. Top 6 drivers needing fuel to make it to the end all came down pit road. Colin and Sean stayed out, pinning the rest of the field a lap down. Meanwhile, Jordan Fisher was the recipient of the lucky dog. Now, actually, it looks like a wave around might be on the table, though, for Hillman, Guerin, Hunter Hall.
Interesting. That could have something to do with where they were on track.
Yeah,
when the caution
they must have been
fell.
ahead of them.
So that is going to be interesting for them and big for them. Huge moment there for Bollinger to trap Iverson lap down. I mean, no matter what, Mean Gene, he wasn't getting it back. He was the reason for the caution, so he was not getting that lucky dog. Iverson is in a world of hurt right now. He's currently in 12th place. I'll pull the standings back up here, and I think all Iverson has to be thinking about right now is essentially Geyer not winning and Applegate not winning. Otherwise, he should be okay. He doesn't need to worry about Volpus a ton right now. Volpus is in the lead lap. He's all the way back in 9th. He has not been able to make anything happen here today. But boy, oh boy, someone like Applegate going to victory lane and taking away another spot would not be advantageous for Tony Iverson.
No, Tony has to be counting, got his shoes off right now. It is rigged, figuring out what it's going to take to power him around. Up front, Colin and Sean looking fancy, looking happy. Team Delusional 1 and 2. Behind them, Grant Applegate. Remember, Colin and Sean pitted on lap number 71 and 72 respectively.
Yeah, this is Applegate's
Their
moment.
tires a little old. And absolutely, Grant Applegate on the mic right now saying, how old are your tires? Colin telling him, don't worry about it. Applegate, Geyer, Kyle, all lap 80. Tibbetts, Beverly, lap 80, taking the 4 tires. Now, Dylan Tibbetts was in that pit for 58 seconds, though, so I imagine there was a little bit more than just fuel and tires going on to that number 44.
Yeah, that's going to be fascinating to follow. And oh boy, there's going to be a lot of math that may have to go down depending on who wins this race, Mean Gene. If Dalton Geyer can find a way to bring this thing to victory lane, there's a scenario where
look at him.
not
Look
for a
where he
championship,
is.
and he's right there exactly. And we've talked about don't let Dalton Geyer late in a race in these situations. He is such a good driver. Here we go, and yeah, but to me, Mean Gene, this is Grant Applegate's moment. He has never had a better situation than this.
No, here we go. Pace car out of the way. You know what? He ain't wrecked anybody all year, so he's got one. He's got one in his pocket. Here we go into the restart zone. Applegate into the back of the 53. The 53 doesn't go. The 6-7 doesn't go. Look at them. They're holding hands on the front stretch. Team Delusional playing games with the field. That's going to force Kevin Kyle to look outside. Applegate says, I remember you. Gives a swipe at Walton. Now he's to the quarter of Colin. Colin bringing it up the track, but Applegate makes the pass. Colin taps him. Applegate says, take your old tires back. And it's Applegate in the lead here on lap number 83.
If you were wondering how bad 9-lap-older tires are, just look at Sean Walton getting eaten alive right here, trying to use the outside to his advantage, trying to get a run, but there it is. Kevin Kyle's going to throw that dirty air on him. And then look at this, though. Bollinger going to try to say something about this lead here. Going to try to bring it back to Applegate. We'll see what he's able to do at that tire disadvantage. Third place now belongs to Kevin Kyle.
And Kyle He's on the edge of elimination, needing to make up only 1 point ahead of Joe Volpes. Touches the wall.
Oh my goodness!
Walton below him.
Oh my gosh!
Pain and destruction.
Big moment there for Kyle. Big mistake there from Kyle. Applegate nearly getting wrecked. Applegate goes below the apron. Side by side are Bollinger and Applegate. Applegate trying to punch his stick in the championship. Bollinger trying to control who goes there.
Colin wanting to make the win. Tired of hearing about Jordan's 6 wins. Contact with Applegate. Applegate comes up to pinch him. Contact again. This isn't the regular season, boys. What are we doing?
And
here comes
back.
Sean Walton.
I can't believe Walton's back. Where did he come from? Maybe those tires don't matter. Mind you, Mean Gene, those are 2 tires. It's not even 4. And this is likely, this is 4 he's going up against here. And Grant Applegate, unbelievable driving by the 53 at Bollinger and the 6-7 respectively. And looking to the inside now, looking for 3rd place. Dalton Geyer trying to throw his hat in the ring.
Geyer has the 4 tires. Can he make them work? 15 laps to go here at Michigan. That could be enough time for the 53 and the 67 to suffer from tire wear. But Applegate on the same fresh 4s as Dalton Geyer. Dylan Tibbetts in 5th, same strategy, not going anywhere, wondering about the integrity of the car. Kevin Kyle Beverly side by side. Both of those have been involved in incidents, wondering what they can do. And then Jordan Fisher, oldest tires on the track, trying to hold on with Iverson behind him.
They may be old, Mean Gene, but at least there's 4 of them for Fisher. There's only 2 for Bollinger and Walton. I think if these guys had known earlier that those 2 tires would still race so well, I think a lot more people would have done it. Because, gosh, I can't believe how fast that 53 and the 67 still are. I mean, a lot of it has to do with how talented both of them are, as Hunter Hall gets ultra loose at a 4 there. Looks like he's going to regroup underneath the apron. Walton going to rejoin, not trying to give any help to Geyer with the draft. Going to be 13 to go as Grant Applegate takes comes to the line this time around.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what we're seeing is the 67 trying to just follow Colin. If Colin messes up, Sean will zip right by him, absolutely, to improve his position, but not going to do anything to hurt the chances of the team delusional captain up there in that 53. Meanwhile, look at Geyer, last lap, 3.898, little bit slower than the 3 in front of him. Geyer needs to milk a little bit more speed out of that Chevrolet if he wants a shot. Now following the line of Colin Bollinger. Behind him, Tibbetts too far away to give any assistance. All the drivers in the back, though, equal distance spread out. Beverly Fisher having a good time with each other. Surprise has to be the, oh golly, I don't want to use that word, the ineffectiveness of Joe Volpes here today back in 10th.
Yeah, Volpes has just not really had much here today at Michigan, just has not had the speed inside that 13 race car. And we missed something, Mean Gene, because Iverson's on the lead lap. There must have been a wave around under that caution. Iverson has been getting some meaningful positions. He is where he needs to be. Currently sitting in 8th place. Going to work on Fisher here for 7th with some newer tires, I believe Iverson should have. So Iverson right now doing what he needs to do to punch his ticket. This race ended right now. It would be Applegate, Bollinger, Iverson, and Kevin Kyle racing for a championship.
Top 4 right there. That would be something to see. But we've still got a few more laps before that is determined. You're right. Iverson slowly moving forward. Kevin Kyle next on his radar. Ahead of Kyle, though, there's a big gap to
Tibbetts,
Dylan Tibbetts.
Great run from Tibbetts.
And then you can see Geyer slowly creeping in on Sean Walton, but 0.7 of a second behind Applegate. Colin now trying to make a play on Applegate. Dives it down low. Can he get to the quarter and use a little side draft?
Oh,
no.
Applegate's loose.
Applegate holds it.
Applegate was ultra loose coming out of 2 there, Mean Gene. If that happens again, that could cost him momentum, but Applegate, an ultra talented driver. But yeah, I mean, maybe Geyer also thinking, oh, these guys are racing pretty hard, and maybe something can happen. I can sneak my way into these playoffs off a win. You never know, because it is really impressing me how much Bollinger has been able to keep Applegate within his reach on this run at his tire disadvantage on both the amount of tires and the life of them. There is nothing working in Bollinger's favor when it comes to what he has available to him, and he is still putting up a fight, as is his teammate in the 6-7 of Sean Walton. And that mid-corner speed of Colin Bollinger is something else.
Here we go.
Loose
Applegate
again.
touches. They're at the corner. He's at the door.
Here we go. And he has a nice run going into 3 and 4. It looks like he could clear Applegate on exit here if he wants to slide up, and that's exactly what Bollinger is going to do. He's going to try to complete this pass, maybe use some help from his teammate in the 6-7. Down the track goes Bollinger to get that drafting help from Sean Walton. Applegate going to follow him down and make sure no such thing is able to happen. Applegate needs to recover here. He needs to get these tires that are underneath them, and he needs to do something about this. He doesn't necessarily need to win this race, Mean Gene, but it would sure as hell make things a lot more simple, as Geyer is going to look to the bottom of Walton, not able to make anything happen there, but Geyer's trying to get a little more aggressive.
The draft, he dove down low to try to pick up the draft, tapped the wall, cost him momentum. I think we're going to see him do it again. Geyer's got to start throwing darts if he wants to move forward here. Hold this turn, get in that draft. Little short once again. No help from behind for Dalton Geyer. He's got to do this thing all by himself.
Yeah, he's going to have to figure this out. He's going to have to drive harder than he has all season, just like Grant Applegate is right now. He's going to look to the outside again. I think the only thing that's really limiting Applegate right now, me and Gina, is his line availability. He does not seem comfortable at all on the bottom. He's faster than anyone else at the top, but he makes it a little easier to defend when you know where he's going to go.
Yep, and here he goes. He's going to bust through that dirty air, trying to make a run, but knowing darn well if he backs anything up, that 6-7's going to be there to pounce. Wow. I mean, he gets closer to that wall than any of the other drivers. And look at that momentum. Let him pull tight into the 53, bottom, pretending he's going to go low. He does. Let's see what he's got.
Can he make a
slide
slide
holds
happen?
The door.
And puts the squeeze on. Will they touch? They nearly touch. They keep it clean for now. Man, these two have just been at each other's throats all race right here, and they're going to enter this corner side by side. Once again, Applegate's going to be forced to use the bottom. He needs to go in deeper, Mean Gene. He needs to go in deeper and give himself a chance at that slide job, but Bollinger just is not allowing it to happen. They're going to be side by side on exit again.
Yeah, I think we see Applegate pinching him on exit. Applegate needs to pinch him on entry. Not let it deny him. We saw Tony Iverson do it. We saw Iverson do it. There it is. Finally, the 14 denies Colin the entry.
What a move by Applegate. I think also Bollinger getting a little bit greedy there. He wanted to also deny any good bottom entry for Applegate, but also tried to use the top to his advantage too, and Applegate read that and did not give him the entry, just like you said, Mean Gene. It's going to be 4 to go this time around. All Grant Applegate has to do is hold on for 8 more miles, and he can finally call himself an MRL winner.
Threatening all year long. We've seen him win stages, won the stage today, seen him take the pole. Here goes the 53 diving down. Applegate, look at the speed in the middle of the corner. Now, he touches.
Applegate hard in the wall. It looked like, oh my goodness, Bollinger's wrecking. The caution's out. Another early caution.
They're okay. They're rolling.
As Tibbetts and Applegate nearly get together, and where were they scored when the caution came out?
That's a great question, because we saw Walton and Geyer come by.
I think Walton is going to be our leader, and Applegate will be P2, and Bollinger will be P3. I think that's what's about to happen here, Mean Gene. Here's the accident right here, going through 1 and 2. I thought Applegate had the run of his life here, carrying so much speed, but some things are just too good to be true, Mean Gene, as Applegate was way too hard into this corner. You can see it there. He's gonna hit that wall, but now is when things get kind of weird, if we're being honest.
Yeah, because Colin pinches him. Look, he's like, hey buddy, you want to go back in that wall? I could help.
And then Applegate's still trying to recover. He's still coming down a little
and then
bit.
Net code,
yeah,
and then boom.
And that's going to be a considerable hit, I think, for Bollinger. I don't know about Applegate. That one right there was not good. Yeah, that's the wheel bending one, if there was one. We'll have to see, Mean Gene. And I was half right Bollinger is going to be scored all the way down in 5th place, while Applegate looks to be scored as our leader.
That's insane how iRacing just did that. But names you got to be thinking about right now. Tony Iverson had all that trouble, made his way back up to 6th. Now he's in it with 74 was the last time he pitted. If Applegate and Colin have messed up tires, that suddenly makes you look at Sean Walton, who took
Dalton
2
Geyer
on 72, and Dalton Geyer, who took 4 on 80. Right now, depending on who pits, Geyer would have the freshest tires all the way back to the 7th place position of Kevin Kyle. Beverly, Vulpes, Hall, all coming into the pits. Why not? Hopefully, they'll see more than one green-white checkered is what those two boys are thinking. But you're about to see a green-white checker in an elimination race. Grant Applegate, how much damage is on the front of that car? Sean Walton, how much rubber is on the left side of that car? And then Dalton Geyer, how many enemies is he willing to make to punch his way to the championship?
That 53, and I'm sure he's real happy that he's virtually locked into this championship race, is destroyed, Mean Gene. That left side is about, 6 inches higher than it should be. That thing is going to have all types of air underneath it. It's not only going to be loose and miserable to drive, it's going to be slow. You look at Grant Applegate, and the front bumper and the fender are no longer connected. Side. Yep, they are no longer connected. That will likely bring in a little bit of air, and that will also upset the aerodynamics of the car, but it should not be anywhere near as dramatic as bad as what Bollinger will likely be dealing with. Walton does have those 2 tires. I think that all comes down to Walton, who also has damage, considerable damage on that left side. The best looking car here is the 36 San Amateur Store Chevy of Dalton Geyer. He also needs to win this race. 2nd place would not be good enough. This is going to be unbelievably interesting, Mean Gene. And do not take your eyes off of our pole sitter, John Beverly, and Joseph Vulpes, who's going to really need a lot of positions here to have a chance at this championship, or the race for this championship. But Vulpes can do it, and I think a good thing about that, Mean Gene, and why you make that move, 1, what else are you going to gain? He did not have the speed. He needed some sort of advantage. And 2, this is a behemoth track. In terms of lines available, you can make stuff happen on restarts here.
Yep. I mean, he went ahead. Vulpes came in and took the tires. Remember, he's staring directly at Kevin Kyle, and he's praying that Dalton can't pull off a dub. Kevin is, 3-4 spots in front of him?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah. Kevin Kyle just 2 rows in front of him on the inside line.
So that's 5 points. That's 5 points. So he needs to get 5 spots in front of Kevin if he's going to do anything about going to the playoffs.
And Kevin's going to have to finish 2 spots in front of him, because I believe Vulpes will own that tiebreaker.
Yep. Oh, my gosh. And can you hear that thumping in the background? That's the heartbeat of Dalton Geyer.
Yeah.
Gotta be stoked. I mean, everything leading up to this moment. But look behind him. An angry jabroni in the 53, and then a fish speed land shark on the outside of row 3. And we know that outside row goes great. Walton can make it work out there. Dylan Tibbett. Look at Walton rubbing Applegate. Hey, buddy.
This is, I think if you're Geyer, that's what you got to be hoping for, that they're happy with each other. Hope for some calamity.
They're going to wreck on the restart. What are they doing?
Restart. What are these?
Here we go. Pace car out of the way. 3, 2, 1. Away we go. Great start there by Applegate. Pulls away 3-4 car lengths. Outside lane, Sean Walton getting the push from Dylan Tibbetts. Iverson looks high. The 6-7 blocks Dalton Geyer. Meanwhile, Iverson wiggling on the outside, trying to get around. Here comes Jordan Fisher. Fisher and Bollinger make contact. Dalton Geyer on the bottom, no help from the 6-7.
Tibbetts
outside lane. Tibbetts looking below Applegate. Tibbetts with a fresh car and 4 tires. This could be his day. But Tony Iverson says, you must have forgot, because here comes that 13.
Tony Iverson out of nowhere. He's driving from 6 all the way to challenge for the lead. Tibbetts and Iverson take the white flag. This race is official. Next flag will end it. Brutal restart for Geyer. Bad driving from Walton, and here we go.
Applegate on the outside fades up front. Iverson a little bit loose, pushing Tibbetts to the wall, trying to make the pass. He does not get it. Here comes Tibbetts. He's at the quarter. He's at the door. He's past Iverson. How much will Iverson fish him up on the wall? Not too much. Tibbetts looks good. He's starting to fade. Here comes Iverson. Door, quarter, pass.
Whoa.
Tibbetts going for the crossover. Tony Iverson gonna win and punch his way in. Tony Iverson wins at Michigan.
Massive hits behind Beverly, Geyer, Walton, Steve Lewis, several cars involved. Tony Iverson with the clutchest performance of his MRL career comes out of nowhere, gets the win at the end, and it looks like Racing Fair Championship is going to be Tony Iverson, Grant Applegate, Kevin Kyle, and Colin Bollinger.
Unbelievable. I'm not sure exactly what was going on, but you can see right there the 6-7 glides up the track right into Dalton.
Absolutely terrible from Walton.
Huge wreck.
Walton, I mean, just a huge lack of respect for the race we're in, for his competitors, for the league that he races in.
Go to the restart. Go to the restart of that and watch what happens with the 6-7. Go inside his cockpit. I'm curious to see if he dropped the hammer, if he hit the brakes, knowing that Dalton was the spoiler. I have no idea. I mean, Dalton would be the driver I'm least afraid of in the Final Four.
It didn't make sense for Walton to throw that move for any other reason, just to do it, in my opinion. But yeah, let's take a look at this restart.
Well, I mean, is it a receipt? No one knows. You know, you never know what's happening.
So this is really when things got ugly. Him and
go to the
Grant,
checks. This is fun. That's fun. He's just hitting him.
And there they are, into each other, getting ready to go
Still
green.
not in the restart zone. Yep.
And there we go. Horrible restart from Walton there. No jump whatsoever. Cuts down.
And then and that's the end of Dalton's race right there.
The end of his season, really. I mean, Walton trying. There's the tight moment. There's the loose moment. A lot of dirty air around him. Not much Walton can do about that. Nope. I don't understand what his thought process was with entering the corner so low, with the aggression on the restart, really anything. But
maybe he thought, though, that Dalton was the car that could challenge him most for the win. And then once you're committed to a strategy, it's kind of, it is what it is. And there he is again, riding a little high. That's Kevin Kyle on the outside, trying to draft behind the 53, doing the best he can with the broken car.
Being a little bit non-committal about his line there. Cuts down nicely, like you said. See Grant Applegate looking like he has an anchor attached to that 14. I don't think he'll care too much when he finds out the good news, but a win seemed there. And there is Dalton paying the favor to Walton and saying, thank you for not giving me a chance at a championship you weren't racing for. And then he's going to take it to the outside. And there is a massive wreck on the exit of 4 here.
There it comes.
It was like,
hey, did you
Walton
bump me?
is just going to slide up into Geyer. And he's going to take out Vulpes as well.
And there's Steve Lewis. Louis! And
Yeah.
here comes Kevin Kyle. Here comes Jack Sanders. Let's all wreck.
That's just Sean Walton doing Sean Walton things, Mean Gene.
Hey, it's not his fault. Watch.
Sure.
Let me take my Sean Walton hat off for a minute. It wasn't him. All right, interesting finish. Let's go to the results.
Yes, let's do exactly that. Let's bring in.
So Tony Iverson picks up the win. Congratulations, Tony. Dylan Tibbetts on the podium, first podium of the year for the Taco Bell Toyota number 44 driver. And Grant Applegate gonna come home in third. Jordan Fisher recovers from early calamity to finish fourth. Kevin Kyle bringing it home in fifth. And looking down at Joe Vulpes finishing in 11th, one would think.
Oh, yeah, that's our final four right there, man, Gene. It's Kevin Kyle will round it out.
It would be Kevin Kyle. Colin going to come home in sixth. Alex Hillman in seventh. Oh, man, I owe you a Coke. I can't believe he finished the race.
He finished
Jack Sanders. Yes. Jack Sanders, 8th. The commish, John Beverly, in 9th. Dalton Geyer, 10th. Had a shot at the end. Got caught up in some crossfire there and finishes in 10th. Vulpes, Lewis, I'm sorry, Vulpes, Sean Walton, Louis coming home in 13th. Last car on the lead lap. Hunter Hall, Brandon Guerin, Matt Novella, and Farmer way back on lap number 44. Zach Clausen. Not sure what happened there, but who knows? His front end looked pretty bad.
It did not look great. Me and Gene, glad we did that driver cam today, I guess.
I would have loved to have that driver cam. Are you kidding me? I'd have loved to have seen exactly what happened to Mr. Farmer there on that lap. I'm waiting for driver chat to light up.
Me and Gene,
Nobody's saying anything.
I hate to bring in the same guy 2 weeks in a row, but I'd love to tell a certain someone that he's in the championship race.
What? Is that how it's going to go?
Should we?
Who's it going to be?
Let's bring in Kevin Kyle.
You want to bring in Kevin Kyle?
I was going to say Geyer, but I honestly feel too bad too.
Yeah, he might be spicy right now. I don't need an F-bomb. All right, here he comes.
Yeah, he's not like that. Kevin Kyle, I got you, my friend.
Yeah, hey, what's going on, boys?
Well, there's only one reason.
We're doing math. We're doing math.
Yeah, you didn't see that.
Oh, I don't hear you guys.
Oh, sorry. Do you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, I was trying to do a cute little calculator thing and I muted my mic. All right, well, we
Yeah,
only
we're
brought you
doing
in
math,
here for one reason, Kevin. And that's to tell you that you're racing for a championship.
Crazy, right? It was a crazy thing, man. We kind of knew we needed to stay. I just knew Grant and Joseph were right there on the bubble with me, so I was just like, just doing my best to have a 0x and lead the lap. And dude, it was just, yeah, it's crazy. We made it. We made it. Yeah, thanks to Joe. I mean, honestly, Steve like helped me out a ton. He dropped back and we started trying to save like some more fuel for me on that first little stint to help. Like we were throwing the Hail Mary there. I was throwing the Hail Mary there at the beginning to try to two-stop it. And then like me and Joe were two-stopping it together, I could tell. And so after that pit stop, Steve was up ahead of me and he helped drop back and I caught his draft. And then Jack at the end there too helped bumping me forward. So I could not have done it without Jack and Steve on this race. So they're the real MVPs, man, for Team Degeneration X. So just couldn't have done it without those two. So just a huge shout out to Jack and Steve, Louis.
Hey, these races are team efforts, man. These ones, especially on the cutoff races, where you have other teammates who are not racing for the same stakes that you are. It's always great to have those. I think me and Gene like to call them missionaries that are there to help you out. I've been enjoying helping out my teammates on other nights. But now we set our sights to your opportunity at a first MRL championship and the track of Kentucky amongst three of, got to be the most talented drivers we've ever seen in MRL, and this has to be the most talented Final Four we've ever seen. How do you approach this one, and how are you gonna be spending this coming week until this time next Monday?
You know, it's kind of fun because it's like I'm playing with house money. So I feel like the pressure's off in that way because you look at these guys, their resumes outstanding. So Joseph could have been easily up here. Matt could have been easily up here. It just worked out that I was here. And hopefully the way I've been racing people this series will help me going into Kentucky. Like I mentioned the other time you guys had me on, like I've been trying to race people with some respect and give them room and work my way through the field that way. So I'm hoping maybe that comes back to help me out because I know, and I'm just hoping honestly Colin and Tony wreck in the Applegate, and then I can just cruise on in, man. So you never know because their egos are so huge. I'm surprised they can even put their helmets on. So I'm excited to see what that's going to turn out to be because Grant and Colin were getting into it too. So it's a beautiful thing when the top three drivers I'm racing against all hate each other. So I might have a chance, and hopefully you can bring that KK Woodscapes trophy home.
Yeah, and I can tell you, Kevin, from the booth, that today did not make their relationships any better. So that's probably good news for you as we set our sights on the championship race. Congratulations, genuinely so stoked on you to make it. So proud of you. Great job, great season. Consistency, the name of the game for you. So good to see it pay off. Any shouts you want to give, maybe that beautiful paint scheme you have up there, and also, the trophy you'll be racing for next week. About time to get one of those.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see. KK Woodscapes is our little wood company. Guys, check it out on Instagram, and then we also have a little T-shirt business we're starting up, Sim and Destroy Racing Co. You can check it out at sndracingco.com. We got 3 designs up. I make them myself here at the house, so not a print and design kind of drop ship company. It's all done here in-house, so I take care of it, try to do the best job we can for you guys. So check that out, and then we have hats coming out here pretty soon, so keep an eye out for that. And then I just want to say thank you to God, thank you to my wife for allowing me to do this and take care of we got a lot of stuff going here at the house, so Kim, my wife, definitely making me be able to have time to do this. So shout out to her, and then of course you guys up in the booth, as we all know how much hard work it is to do these at night. So I hope you guys had a great race. And we'll see you guys next week at Kentucky, man. God bless everybody.
Yeah, you guys put on a hell of a show, and you did all season. Great job, Kevin. Good luck next week, man. Can't wait to see what you can make happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, a heck of a run by Kevin. Just right there on the edge all day, and then push comes to shove, KK into the finals, the number 29 racing for a championship next week at Kentucky. Can the mustache get the job done?
And so often it's that fourth guy who actually does get it done, right? I think you could have called Kyle Larson that fourth guy in the NASCAR Cup Series this year, and I think the year before you definitely could have called Logano that. So it's certainly interesting, and it definitely is a dynamic that you see play out a lot in these races, Mean Gene, because it only comes down to one. Doesn't matter what you did in the previous, 16 races here.
This is it, and that's what makes it so exciting. I mean, you can't look at the Final Four and say, oh no, that's not the best 4 guys. This system is broken. Bull. It worked out great. Now, of course, Jordan Fisher did step out, so we're not going to see him racing for a championship. But look at the other drivers that are up there. Colin Bollinger, Tony Iverson, those guys had the next most amount of wins behind Fisher. We see Applegate, who came on so strongly, would have been in that point position had he not missed the 2 races at the beginning of the year. And then we see Kevin Kyle come into this thing 1 races before. This is a top driver in the Bonfire Premier Cup on Sundays as well. So no surprise to see Kevin finishing podiums and now going to battle for that championship here next week at Kentucky in the season finale. Amazing race that we just watched. Kevin Kyle punching his way in. Let's move forward and talk to yet another driver. This time, it's going to be another guy we get to say, you go into the playoff.
Oh, yeah. And then you're going to be stoked to hear that.
Hello. Can you hear me, Mr. Applegate?
I think so.
Oh, my word. What has 2 thumbs and is going to race for championship next week?
I'm hoping I am. I believe
that guy. Yes, sir. I am taking a gander at these playoff points, and as I look to the top, let's go ahead and hit the chase button. And little technical difficulty. There it is, Grant Applegate, number 3 on the list, making it happen. My friend, how do you feel? I know you wanted the win today. I saw you racing for it, but championship 4 in your first year, you got to be on top of the world.
Yeah, pretty happy about it. I hate how the race ended, I'm going to be honest. Me and Bollinger were being what I would consider NASCAR aggressive, just bumping doors and stuff like that. And I was all good with that. And then, I just overdrove turn 2, hit the wall enough that it gave me slight wheel damage. So straight wasn't quite straight when I came off the corner, and I came down half a lane, and it just, for some reason, turned him. I don't know why it turned him so easily, because I felt like we were pretty much side by side when we hit, but it spun him out for some reason. So first and foremost, just apology to him for that. I wanted to just race hard for the win, but getting second, I guess, in the stage, apparently. I knew that leapfrogged me the points I needed over Vulpes and Kyle, and then leading the laps afterwards, that also gave me another point. So I knew I was good by like 2 points based off my quick maths in my head while I was racing. And I was just, at that point, I was like, I can actually go for the win here, because Kyle and Vulpes weren't really I mean, they were within position if I made a mistake, but like if I didn't screw up, like a speeding penalty or wreck or anything like that, nothing was really going to happen. So, yeah, I'm happy about making the Final Four, but just another top 3 is annoying, as stupid as that sounds. Yeah, I don't know. Happy about making Final Four.
I mean, you also, this was one of the more competitive races that we saw this year amongst the top 4. I mean, Jordan led 27 laps. Tony led 27 laps. You led 21, and Colin led 19. So the 4 of you dicing, pulling away from the field multiple times, and then putting on those side-by-side shows was just quite the spectacle for all of us at the house. And I know you wanted the win. It looked like a little net code is what turned him into you. You did come down a little bit, but he was also coming up, going to pinch you against the wall to deny entry, which seemed like the best technique to pass anyone, was to, pinch him up the wall and then turn down at the last second. And it looks like that was what he was setting up for, and then both of your cars just kind of turned into magnets. You could thank iRacing for that one.
Yeah, I watched it back, and it's basically like you said, like he was trying to. I get what he was trying to do, but like I was in the wall and I lost so much momentum. I wish he would have just kind of went around me, kind of thing, because I think he would have cleared me if he would have just went left. But I understand.
Where's the fun in that? Where's the fun in that?
I understand racing aspect is just kind of guarantee the move instead of just the maybe, in which the guarantee is if you keep me pinched up high, we get to turn 3, you just clear me by driving to the bottom. So, yeah, I hope he doesn't have any hard feelings about it, but it's Bollinger, so...
No, he don't care about nothing. Are you kidding me? That dude gets in his car 5 minutes before the race starts. He's probably already thinking about when will the next 4 episodes of Stranger Things drop. Oh Lord! So Grant, congratulations, man! Cannot wait to see next week. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Battling all year. I feel like you would have been in that position
easily
had you got the 2 starts at the very beginning of the year. 3rd place, podium, putting you in there. You missed 4.
Yeah, I barely was.
Oh, that's right, because you barely made the cut. That's right. You needed some amazing stage points. That's what we saw once again here today. Anybody you want to give a shout out to this evening?
Just first and foremost, we're all here to race and have fun. So shout out to Fisher, Iverson, and Bollinger for racing clean and but still racing. I hate people who just sit there and like ride around for 20 laps and then be like, oh, I got fresher tires, bye. Like I get that's how you win the race, but like that's not fun. We're here to have fun. We're not here to be professionals. Like, come on, let's go out there and race. And we got a 4-second lead over 5th place. Just go out there and run hard and have fun. But yeah, just you guys, I have so much fun going back and watching the streams after the races and just people putting on the show and putting all the money and effort that I know it takes to run anything on iRacing. So appreciate them and appreciate giving me a chance to run for a championship. We'll see how it goes. Kentucky's not my best track, but Dirty Air can make it to where it's my best track. So plans just to get out front and aero block for 100 and some laps.
There it is. Yep, going to take a good qualifying lap there. Kentucky and Michigan, a couple of very important tracks for MRL historically. So going to be fun to see exactly what you can do against those other big names. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Grant Applegate, 3rd place today, and going to be the number 3 seeded driver as we go to Kentucky next week, racing for a championship. Grant, have a good night, sir. You earned it, my friend.
Congrats, Grant. Give him hell. Back up 3 and 4 at Kentucky.
I'll do my best.
You can't drive backwards up 3 and 4. They give out penalties when you drive backwards.
Yeah, I've tried. I don't know why they don't let us just do the NASCAR heat stuff on iRacing, but they're against it.
Yeah. I mean, you got to be Jax Duvall and have your finger on the clear black flag button to do
exactly
that kind of
have that hotkey to your entire keyboard.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I got 2 buttons. One of them says marked safe from farmer, and the other one says clear black flag on myself. All right, so let's bring out number 2. Oh
Stoked to
my
talk to
word,
this guy.
this guy. Yeah, this dude right here. He challenged hard, had a great car at the end. 4 freshies like you need. There you go, Zach. I think we got it.
Dylan Tibbetts, we got you.
Yeah, you got me. What's going on, fellas?
Yo, good to see a new face up here in the booth with us. Congratulations on an awesome finish. You put on a show there at the end. But really, that 44 had come alive that entire latter half of the race. You were lights out, super, super fast. Seemed like after that second to last pit stop, you had something figured out. Did something click for you, or was it a strategy thing? What made that thing such a force in the second half of the race?
That was strategy. When that first caution came out, it kind of ruined the strategy I had. So
we saw you and Vulpus and Kyle. We saw your dirty tricks.
Yeah. We were hanging out, I guess, and I was just riding it out. I wasn't trying to save fuel or nothing, but I wasn't pushing the car too hard because in practice it seemed like the tires were falling off, but in the race there was really no tire fall off at all. It was just trying to find clean air, and it was almost impossible to find, especially if you were 5th on back. But yeah, I had a chance there. I screwed it up going into 3 and 4. I was trying to throw it into 4th to get the car to rotate. Would not go into 4th gear, and kind of screwed it up there. But it is what it is. Either way, fun race. Good to get a decent finish for once. Don't get to race too often, so when I do get to, it's always nice to come away with a decent finish.
Yeah, you definitely put on a show there at the end. That was a lot of fun to watch. I mean, and hindsight's always 20/20 in those situations, right? You have about 2 milliseconds to think, and you just got to make a move that's going to define your entire race. I thought you put up a great move, kept it clean, and put forth a great finish. So yeah, you have been part-time this year. Any outlook on what next season's going to look like for you? Anywhere you can commit to full-time? Because it really is always a blast whenever we get to see that 44 here on Monday nights.
Well, my work schedule prevents me being away from home for weeks at a time, and then I'm home for a few weeks at a time. So that's when I get to race, and then, considering I don't get to race for a championship anywhere, I pick and choose kind of what races I want to run, I guess. As long as I get to race with some of my buddies in our chat and whatnot, I'm always looking forward to that. So yeah, just want to, I heard what the Final 4 was. Definitely going to be rooting for that 53 car going into that race or into the playoffs. What we got next?
Kentucky championship race, my friend.
Oh, all right. Well,
gonna be an intense one for sure.
53.
Yeah. All right, so there we go. Add one to the 53 fan club. Make that one even bigger. But yeah, man, great seeing you out on track, Dylan. Great run here today. Always a pleasure getting to see that Taco Bell 44 on track, and hope to see it much more in the future. Best of luck with the work schedule, and thanks for showing up and putting on such a great race. Any shout outs you want to get before we let you out of here?
Oh yeah, I already gave the 53 Colin one. I want to give my boy Ray Sean another one, and Plant for making the paint schemes, and then you guys as well for doing what you do, and thanks for having me.
Appreciate you, Dylan. Great job today, and we'll see you when we see you, my man.
Yeah, thank you.
Great run from that 44 today, me and Gene, and I thought he had it. He blasted past Grant Applegate with a gorgeous move. Looked like he was going to have that. Was not meant to be today. Looks like we're going to have one more broadcast here, and me and Gene has actually gone off, and I think he's bothering.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, where'd you go to? Who were you bothering?
You know who I went to talk to. I had to go ask Dalton what was up.
Is he good?
Like, what are we doing? He's good, man. He's absolutely good. He was surprised to be up there, and he was a little sad. Sean Walton thought Applegate might have jumped that restart.
I mean,
and so Walton was more concerned with a Lincoln Douglas debate than he was driving the car, and that's kind of what Dalton think went down. He doesn't think anything malicious was going on. There was no conspiracy,
right?
And then he just happened to be the closest the closest person to the angry snake when it does, does what it does.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, in terms of the jump, first of all, it takes two to tango, and it's definitely a two-way street. But the best way to avoid that type of stuff is just to have a restart with an ounce of integrity. One of the ugliest restarts I've ever seen to end a race. And I feel like if you're Walton or Applegate, you cannot say anything to your competitor there because you did not hold up your end of the bargain. Neither of them did what they had to do to make that a good restart.
Yep. But it is what it is, and what it is a Tony Iverson win.
Oh,
Let's
man,
see.
almost forgot. Congrats to Tony. Over under F-bombs on this one, Mean Gene, because he's going to be all emotional.
No.
Okay,
We'll
I'm going
see
to.
what
I'm going to.
Tony!
What is up?
Oh, you're up, my friend. Third win of the year, and comes at the most important race up to this point. How does it feel? But there were four of y'all just slicing and dicing like ninjas back in the Toagawa era.
Dude, I bet that race was so cool to watch. Like, there's so much that happened, and just the way everything played out, and then like some of the rage that was happening. I mean, hell, I've even been accused of wrecking on purpose. Like, this race had everything.
Yeah, I heard Walton on there when you did that. I don't think he realizes how much you wanted to crash him, but the more mature Tony Iverson that we've seen develop here in the playoffs stepped on. The angel was on your shoulder. I saw the devil though. He said, if you just turn the wheel a little, you can spin that 6-7. But you kept it on the straight and narrow. Car got a little bit loose. That looked more like the angel and the devil, pulling your wheel different directions than you trying to wreck.
I just wanted to get ahead of him so bad, but I didn't want to, because he was up high, so I didn't want to have him get like enough momentum to come and give me like a boop into the next corner. So I was pushing extra hard on that exit, thinking like, I can afford with my tires to do at least one exit like this, and then it like skipped on me a little bit, and then it went around.
Yeah, really unfortunate. But then we got, in fact, let's go through that for a minute. You were shown a lap down. Did you get a wave around at that point?
Yeah, so I had just took tires, and so I was like, I didn't have any right sides left in the pit, and so it was easy decision, take the wave around, just take whatever position they give me. I barely made it back to the field before the green went on, and then I think I got up to like 5th or 6th, and then there was like 3 or 4 laps to go, and I was like so concentrated on the driving that I couldn't really understand everything that Grant was saying about what was going on up front, but I knew that they were having a good race because their proximity was staying close for a while, and I kept seeing like little puffs of smoke here and there, and then I seen that they like kind of got into each other. That caution came out, and at that point I still didn't think that me winning the race was possible, but I felt really good about like going for it. There was only like 14 cars on the lead lap, and that was pretty much my points cushion, and then I knew who got stage points, so I was like, on that final restart, I was like, I'm sending it, I'm going wherever nobody else is, and we're going to see what happens. And that's how it worked out. It was freaking awesome.
On the replay, we're looking at that last turn, you and Dylan Tibbetts doing battle, and it seems like you just sent it down on that apron. He went for the crossover, but your exit speed on fire. I mean, did you know the car had that ability, or were you just thinking checker or wrecker? I'm going to make it happen.
That was exactly what I wanted the car to do. I was just really hoping he wasn't going to go to the bottom, because I knew on the 2 tires that I could really get it down there and get it to hook and turn in the center. And if I did it right, I knew the exit speed would be too much no matter what he did on the top side. So I was just like, please let me have the bottom, please let me have the bottom. And then, I was able to shoot down there and just kind of put my foot in it when I wanted to, and she stuck.
Yep, and that's exactly what we saw. Heck of a finish there, your battle with Tibbetts. But the battling throughout the race something special as well. I'm looking at the stats of what we just saw. You led 27 laps. Jordan Fisher led 27 laps. Applegate 21. Colin 19. I mean, the four of you guys just seem to be putting on a show out there today. How much work did you put going into this race, would you say? I'm curious.
I actually didn't practice for this one because they had the officials not that long ago, and I was feeling myself during that. So the couple practice sessions that I did this week were for Kentucky, and I'm glad I did that because I'm not feeling super comfortable there quite yet.
So all playoffs long, you've been doing the Jordan Fisher preparation, but today you did a Colin Bollinger preparation and you won. You hearing this, Zach?
Joe, I'm hearing it.
No, I did take my.
Just shows up. What were you watching? Were you watching Stranger Things and then your alarm went off and you were like, "Oh shoot, this race is about to start"?
No, I Jordan posted in the Discord like different notes that he received when he was training, and so I read those, and actually it did change my preferred brake bias, and I found that brake bias to be the sweet spot for sure. So I still got help from the Fish Speed server somehow for this one, but yeah, I just love this track so much. I love the way it races. The dirty air is super harsh these days. I think I almost crashed like 6 or 7 times from it. It kept happening, and I kept thinking I was gonna find the secret to not have it happen. And yeah, but this is a good thing for me mentally to go into the final race, because we did an expedition at Kentucky right before the season, and I did catch that win, but even in that, like, I knew there was room for improvement. I didn't feel super comfortable, and I went ahead and over the last few days I ran like 120 lapper and then like 135 lapper, and wasn't feeling too good. So definitely going to try to figure the track out and do what I got to do to try to repeat what's happened here this week.
Well, it's going to be a fun one. You know, Michigan and Kentucky both so important to the Moonlight Racing League. Lots of history has been made on those tracks, and so cannot wait to see you do battle. Last year, you were less than a second behind, had to watch Colin take that checker. This year, especially the last few races, it's been Colin about a second behind you, watching you take a checker going in. So the scales of justice have been balanced, and all that's left now is those laps at Kentucky next week. Cannot wait to see. Anybody you want to give a special shout out to here today, Tony?
If Thornton's out there somewhere, come on, man. That's what this is to him.
Yeah, you got to say it more like President Biden. Come on, man.
Hey, come on, man.
There it is.
And then my wife, of course, you know, I'm pretty sure my son was definitely in crazy dude mode when I came for this race. So she probably had a lot of fun with that, because it was definitely my fault. I might have gave him some of his birthday candy. But yeah, so, and then, you know, I dedicate this one to my son and to my dad. They've been heavy on my heart, because my son's birthday's on the 12th, but my wife's due date for him was on the 9th, and on the 9th, I get a call from a hospital thinking it's for my wife, but they're actually telling me that my dad passed away.
Oh my gosh.
So, like, to, you know, that whole event and just the way I feel every time I go past December 9th, NASCAR and all other forms of auto racing were like the main thing me and him connected on. So I always think about him a lot during this time of year, and especially when I'm doing race car related stuff. I know he would love this so much. Like, he would think this is so cool. So definitely dedicating the race to my dad and my son, and then of course I want to thank Fish Speed. It's just nice to have a conglomerate of people that are like-minded, that are cool, that I even seen J-Bev up in there this week, and then look at him getting that pole. That was a blistering lap. That was awesome to see. So and then of course you guys, MRL, and everybody else on the car, KK. Thanks, everybody.
There he is. No F-bombs. We're staying monetized, ladies and gentlemen. Tony Iverson making it happen. And yeah, man, big, thoughts of love and blessing to your family.
Yes, very much.
Terrible to, that we go through that.
He'd be stoked, though. He'd be so stoked.
Yes, one of my looking down, happy to see it happen. And you got to know, when we're doing good, our predecessors, absolutely, and those are the moments. This is what they want from us. They want us to succeed, and so that he's looking down with a smile on his face for these successes. iRacing is not the biggest thing in the world, but it is an important thing for a lot of us, or we wouldn't donate so much time and money to that. So Tony, that's very nice to for you to share that with them and share that with us. So thank you much. Go hug your wife, and good luck with the kid on all that candy, buddy.
Congrats, Tony.
I hope he's asleep by now. Yeah,
Is he though?
I really hope so.
Go get yourself a championship, my man.
Hell yeah, I'm gonna try, man. Thanks, guys.
Oh man, well that was I didn't know that about Tony. That's a crazy story that explains a lot about why he races with so much intention and purpose. And I can say from my perspective, one of my favorite things about racing is talking to my dad afterwards, and how much he enjoys it, how much he tells his friends about it. And I can guarantee Tony that his father is watching from up above and is extremely proud of him right now.
Does your dad say the same thing mine does when I tell him I raced?
What does he say?
3 words.
What's that? Did you win?
Did you win? Yes, every time.
Yeah, and
every time.
I don't get to say it very often.
I could call him on the phone, and he would be like, "Hello," and I'd be like, "Hey, Dad.
Oh my God.
I just got done racing," and he's like, "Did you win?" Yeah.
In my heart, I won, Dad. In my heart,
I won. Yeah. So here we go. This one is for Eric from Tony. Let's see if I can get this right. Did that come through?
It didn't. What was it?
It was Joe Biden saying, Eric, come on, man.
I love that.
Oh, my word. We're having too much fun up here. And I hope you guys at home also having a good time watching. This has been the elimination race here in the round of 8. 4 drivers gonna battle next week at Kentucky. Tonight's winner, Tony Iverson, will have the 2nd seed. Colin Bollinger, 1st seed. We see Grant Applegate on the edge of elimination every round. Wins, gets 2nd in the stage, enough points. Grant Applegate 3rd. And Kevin Kyle, 4th man in. The door was almost shut, but the number 29 slipped on in, and he will be battling for that championship next week. Now, best way to watch it is make sure you're subscribed to the Vortex Racing Network. That way you get notified when we go live, so you can keep track of all the action. And Monday, especially a great day, double headers like you saw today, racing at Dover by Hilltop Bullet Broadcasting, and then straight into Monday Night Mayhem, where we just saw the final 4 get placed to race at Kentucky. Tomorrow night, Big Truckin' Tuesday live here on the Vortex Racing Network. 3 wide in the booth. Mean Gene Money, Zach Panzarella, Smokin' Joe. Race number 3. We've seen some big action so far. Big fields, 42-36. See how big it'll be next week. I hear a rumor. We might get another hot driver. Evan Stewart might be coming into that league as well. That's another fish speed driver.
Which league?
He races. He might be coming into the Big Truckin' Tuesday.
Oh wow, jeez. That's one thing that league needs. I mean, Gene needs to fill that roster, right?
Yeah, hey man, I'll tell you what. I mean, we love all drivers. Okay, I love all drivers. I like paying attention everywhere. But you're talking about a guy that's going to come in there and be battling for top 5.
Yeah.
So, anytime you get an opportunity to get a driver to walk in like that, I mean, look at what happened last year. You had in the Bonfire Premier Cup, the Sunday League, you had Jose Medina and Rick Mandela walk in battling for Rookie of the Year, and then now this year both of them are playoff drivers. That's what you like to see, is that new blood can come in and keep it going. And tonight, this season, you know, we saw Applegate and Fisher come in, and Applegate battling for the Final Four, and Jordan Fisher making that partnership with some drivers to see the Fish Speed Consortium just grow to power, and seeing those drivers get faster and faster, and, you know, evidenced by not only Fisher's wins, but also Iverson being in the Final Four, and tonight the speed of Beverly, who put in extra laps, you know, on that new rig, and also with that data that he got from that group. So, you know, both those drivers really influenced what happened in the league. So I'm excited for tomorrow night, Big Truckin' Tuesday. If Evan Stewart can make his way in, go ahead and see another Fish Speed driver getting into the roster. Thursdays, we will see the finale, the championship of Big Truckin' Tuesday. And that, you might know something about that, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one. We're going to be over at Kentucky for that one as well. 4 very deserving drivers going to be taking that title out of my hand, and we'll have a new Thursday night champion, and it's going to be a special night, I think, for that league. The end of an era, indeed, and definitely don't miss that one. I will be there helping out my teammate Patrick Cowgill the best I can while trying to stay out of the way, but I believe that one's going to be Owens, Tucker, Cowgill, and Vulpes, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, that sounds right. Vulpes won last week to punch his ticket in, so there's no better way to make sure you advance than get a win, and that's what we saw Joe Vulpes do. And then, of course, we're going to see the rebroadcast over on our sister league network, the Moonlight Racing Network. They still carry the ARCA series. They race on Friday, broadcast on Saturday, and wrap it up with the Bonfire Premier Cup, which will be on Sunday, but not this Sunday because they are on a 2-week break.
Yeah, going to be a good break for them. Definitely check out Fridays if you can. They actually only have, I believe, 1 race left in their season as well. Race with them on Friday. Had a great time. Brought it home 3rd place, and super competitive league over there. The ARCA car is a blast, and they're putting on a show with a great network over there, our sister network, MRL Broadcasting, and yeah, been a lot of fun over there as well. So nothing but good action over here, me and Gene. Sad that most of it is coming towards an end. Happy that Tuesday is just now getting started up, but it's always sad when these are getting close to the end.
Yeah, you hate to see it, but then again, you want to crown these champions, and you know, for 90% of the field, they'd love to get another season going to go ahead and rebirth their chances at either a championship or a best of the rest championship. Really a fun addition that we've seen both in the Bonfire Racing League and in the Moonlight Racing League, giving those drivers, you know, you come up 1 point short of making the playoffs, 2 points short. I mean, look what happened on Sunday. You know, Modric, Sara, and Jared Kelly, all of them so close to making that playoffs. But guess what? The battle's not over. You can see those 3 guys continue to duke it out week after week in the playoffs. So best of the rest format, just so fun. As you watch tonight, to watch Hillman trying to battle. You saw Hunter Hall trying to hold on as well. John Beverly, Steve Lewis, all those names doing battle for that best of the rest championship. So always fun to watch. Before we go, Zach, I'm gonna tease it. I'm gonna tease it because I just found out that Vortex Racing Network in negotiation with a fourth league.
Yeah.
We are in negotiation with a fourth league right now. Kevin Kyle on point for this. Cannot release any details. FCC violations would be broken. But as soon as we get more info, we will do a formal announcement. But hey, if you're on YouTube, give Kevin Kyle a little bit of hell and say, what's going on, Kevin?
Yeah.
What's up with that?
Bother him, not us. But yeah, I mean, I think the main thing
what's up with that?
That is important to our VRN viewers out there is just that, I mean, if you can't tell by the broadcast quality and us always bringing new people, but we're never staying complacent. We're always trying to improve this network, whether it's bringing in new leagues or improving our existing product. And that includes the leagues. There's a lot in the works. And like me and Gene said, we'd be arrested on the spot if we give away too much. But there's a lot in the works, and I can't wait for next year.
But this is exactly what we wanted to do. We wanted to bring these leagues together, get more coverage for everybody involved, you know, creating that great community that iRacing, gives you the opportunity to build. And hopefully that's what we've done here is Moonlight, Bonfire, DDI, all those drivers starting to cross paths in the different leagues. And now if we could bring in this fourth league, who knows how many drivers might get more opportunities. And you know who else gets opportunities? You, the viewer at home. If you're into iRacing, which I imagine you are if you're watching this, all these leagues have various iRating caps to give you a place to race and find a family, find a home here under the Vortex Racing Network umbrella. Reach out to somebody. You got Kevin Kyle, you got Mean Gene Money, you got Zach Panzarella, Joe Volpus, John Beverly, BRL, you got David Buell, you got Matt Schofield, you got David Medina, so many names, David Owens. Reach out, get on the track with some of these guys, have a good time, because there's nothing better than hooking your friend at 190 miles an hour on the last lap of an elimination race. 6-7. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been my pleasure to bring you this broadcast. I hope you had as much fun as I have. On behalf of myself, Mean Gene Money, Zach Panzarella, thank you so much to our sponsors, Chantilly Lace Photography, KK Woodscape. It's been our pleasure. Shout out to the admins making it happen. Steve Fugate, John Beverly, Joe Volpus, Rich Swingle, David Owens, Zach Panzarella. Our pleasure. Have a lovely night. See you tomorrow. And as always, bottoms up and hammer down.